The JMG Live Summer Concert Series is sponsored by Hotel Cirilla. Plan a sweet summer weekend getaway to Hotel Cirilla City Center and enjoy a signature poptail that combines premium spirits and popsicles. Hotel Cirilla's exclusive sweet summer poptail package includes luxury accommodations for two coupons for a summer poptail served poolside, a complimentary continental breakfast in the lobby lounge, Wi-Fi, and self-parking in the garage based on availability. For more information, visit hotelcirilla-citycenter.com.
Hey, this is Brian McKnight. You're listening to the JMG Live Music Lounge.
What's going on, everybody? This is Leo, and you are checking out the JMG Live Music Lounge. Keep it locked right here, y'all. Peace and love.
What's up? This is Afrojack. You're listening to the JMG Live Music Lounge.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Cedric Gervais, and you're listening to JMG Live Music Lounge.
And Cedric, let them know you're talking to Jacquari.
Hi there, I'm Summer James.
I'm Ryan Mashano.
And you're listening to JMG Live Music Lounge.
You already know who it is. It's Jacquari, and you're listening to JMG Live Music Lounge.
Hey, this is Dyro, and you're listening to the JMG Live Music Lounge.
What's up, Mahomes? It's your boy DJ Chuck.
Hey, this is Mary Lambert, and you're listening to the JMG Live Music Lounge.
JMG Live Music Lounge.
Jacquari, nice to meet you.
JMG Live Music Lounge with Jacquari Harris. Hear it first with your favorite music artists and celebs. Interviews and entertainment.
What's up? This is Chris Hellcat. You're listening to JMG Live Music Lounge.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the JMG Live Music Lounge podcast for the Summer Concert Series edition. I'm your host, Jacquari Harris, as well as the music editor for JMG Magazine. You know, all summer long, we're releasing pre-show interviews with music artists and performers who have concerts or live events in the Houston area this summer or in the early fall. You know, Cedric Gervais kicked off the Summer Concert Series last month, and up next is 16-time Grammy nominee Brian McKnight. Brian has a show at the Arena Theater on August the 2nd with Avant. It was a great interview, good to catch up with him, and so here we go.
JMG Live Music Lounge.
So my music headline is on the one and only Miss Lizzo. You know, she's one of my favorite artists that's out right now, and Lizzo has been receiving a lot of praise lately ever since the release of her album, 'Cause I Love You, that came out in April. You know, the album has produced a few hits, including Truth Hurts, which just became Lizzo's first top 5 hit on the Billboard Hot 100 chart. You know, Lizzo she's a unique artist just because she can sing, she can rap, she plays the flute, and so she's just in a category of her own, and her music is just so relatable to a lot of people because it's about, you know, self-love, celebrating your curves, and just this whole body positive image that she has going on. You know, she just released Tempo featuring Missy Elliott, and I love this song, and I love the video even more. It's just always so good to see Missy. You know, the video is full of twerking, you got some thongs happening, you got a little bit of hot boy summer, hot girl summer, so everybody's having a hot summer in this video. But it's so good to see Missy back. You know, she also has an album that's going to be coming out soon that she just announced in an interview last month with Marie Claire. Now, Lizzo has a show in Houston on October 4th at Revention Music Center, and if you want to see her, you better get your tickets now because that bitch, as she calls herself, may be sold out. It's the JMG Live Summer Concert Series. So I have new concert tickets to give away, courtesy of our partners over at Live Nation. This week I have tickets to see Big K.R.I.T at the House of Blues on September the 28th. So to win these tickets, y'all, you need to text JMG Live to 31996. Text JMG LIVE to 31996. Also, we'll be giving away tickets to new films that are coming out soon. So be sure to subscribe, share the podcast, and stay tuned to the JMG Live Music Lounge.
JMG Live Music Lounge.
The JMG Live Summer Concert Series is sponsored by Hotel Alessandra. Hotel Alessandra is a sleek and sophisticated 21-story hotel in downtown Houston. The Houston Chronicle voted their Lucienne restaurant as one of the top 10 new restaurants of 2018. The hotel is perfect for weddings and all of your social and holiday parties and events. Guests can relax by the swimming pool, work out in the fitness center, or enjoy a cocktail at the hotel's Bardo Bar. For more information, visit hotelalessandra-houston.com. So when I heard that Brian McKnight was going to be back in Houston, I wanted to talk to him for several reasons. You know, Brian is known as a true vocalist and singer, and his songs are just classics at this point, like Back at One and One Last Cry. So in the interview, we talked about his 30-year career, as well as, I got his opinion on some of the younger music artists that are out today. And of course, we talked about his new album that's going to be out later this year. So the interview started with Brian expressing how he feels about playing in Houston at the Arena Theater again.
It's always great to come play the Arena Theater there in Houston for the folks there. It's an annual thing that we always look forward to.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Now, when you're back in Houston on Friday, once you hit the stage, tell us what can your fans expect, the people that are, dying to see you this weekend. What can we expect when you perform on Friday night?
I realize why people come to see me. They're coming to hear the nostalgia from yesteryear. So what I try to do is I try to put together a show that, chronicles my music heavily on the first 10 years and sprinkled in the next 10 years sporadically through the show. So we're going to play our butts off. I'm going to sing as good or better than the CDs you've been listening to. We're going to have fun. We're going to laugh. We're going to go through every emotion that there is and, just really have a great, great, great time.
Nice. And when you're on a tour like this and you go to all these different cities, do you try to get to the cities a little bit early so you can do some sightseeing and some shopping, or do you just get in just in time to go, perform at the show and get to the theater?
Yeah, I think at this point I've been everywhere and pretty much done everything. It's about getting the right amount of rest and hydration to be ready to perform at a very high level. I really look at my job as a job as opposed to, it used to be fun to go to these cities and hang out and do all those kinds of things. But, 50 years old, I try to leave it all on the stage.
So you've collaborated with so many women over the years. You've done a lot of duets with Celine Dion, Mariah Carey, a lot of really great women. Is there a female artist that's out today that you would like to collaborate with, like a Rihanna, Beyonce, or somebody that's on your radar?
I think right now it would be H.E.R. She seems to be the young, sort of really talented female vocalist out there. And I think that together we could probably do something that would be really, really cool for her fans and for mine as well. For those of my fans that may not be as hip to what she's doing, and for her fans to remember the guys that their parents used to listen to, I think it'd be really cool.
Yeah, I agree. That would be a good collab. And, speaking of younger artists, do you listen to any of the male R&B artists that are out today, like Jacquari or Chris Brown? He just released his Indigo album last month. Do you follow these guys at all?
You know what? I listen because I have a teenager and another kid who just left their teen years. And I hear what's coming out of their rooms. I don't know who's who, but every now and then I hear a song that it's really nice. And I think these kids, they're creating the music of their time, man. And I'm not going to be one of these people who's going to detract from anybody that's being creative. I think they're finding their voices. Chris Brown, I wouldn't necessarily put in that category because he's been around long enough. He's still young, but I think he's a veteran. He's probably on the older side of the young team. He's had the benefit of sort of being both, of coming out at the end of our era and then being there at the beginning of this new era. So, but for everybody else, it's an interesting time to create music, particularly with the technology and the advent of social media. But I think they're handling it really, really well, and I think there's some really great stuff happening. Oh,
yeah, definitely. And, I know you have your new album, Bedtime Stories, that's coming out later this year. And I know you've been talking about the album with some other outlets, but what can you tell us that you haven't told anyone else? Is there a JMG exclusive that you can give us about Bedtime Stories?
Not really, other than, think about the night that you're going to have with the person that you want to be with most. And the way that evening starts and the way it ends, and this is an album for that occasion. That's why it's Bedtime Story, singular, not plural. It's about tonight. How are you going to set that night up? You know, the night might start with, you know, some drinks and some dancing and some fun, and, you know, and where it ends is all up to you. So I'm going to give you the soundtrack for tonight. That's what it is.
Oh, yeah. Okay. We'll be definitely looking out for it. And, you know, your current single that's out now is called When I'm Gone. What was the inspiration behind the single? I mean, it's a really nice ballad. I was, you know, just checking it out. What inspired you to write that and record it?
So my wife and I spend almost every second together. But sometimes because she has her own career, she can't go with me every time. I think she's seen 650 shows in the last 5 years. It's crazy how many shows she's seen. I want her to be at every single one, and she has been my inspiration since the day we met. But I was on my way to Tokyo 2 years ago, and, you know, we FaceTime constantly, and, you know, it's harder and harder, like the song says, to actually breathe every time that we're apart. We don't sleep. we barely eat when we're apart. And the second we're back together, all is right with the world. And if you've ever really missed somebody, this is that song about that, because, you know, it's necessary and it's a necessary evil, but neither one of us likes the times when we can't be together.
Yeah, I definitely understand that. And do you guys plan on having any children?
We will see.
Maybe. We'll see. Okay. So tell me a little bit about your new app. You have an app that's out called Video Request Live. Could you tell us a little bit about the app and you know, how it got started?
So basically, 4.5 years ago, I was getting inundated with DMs from Twitter and from Instagram about, you know, can you send me a video singing happy birthday to so-and-so, blah, blah, blah. So I put up a little website one Christmas. I was like, I wonder if people would actually pay for that. And I did like 150 of them for Christmas one time. And I was
man,
whoa.
That's a lot.
The demand. I did it again Valentine's Day, same thing. Did it again Mother's Day, same thing. And I realized that as artists, I don't think most of us really understand that we should look at ourselves the same way that Pepsi-Cola looks at itself, or Coke, or Hertz, or Chevrolet, that we have been programmed to give away just about everything for free. And what that's done is it's dried up a lot of the revenue streams that we have. Sure, you know, if you have enough followers on Instagram, you can, you know, endorse products, whatever the case may be. But for those of us who have an active fan base who aren't necessarily, you know, completely into social media that way, we have to figure out other ways to create special opportunities to interact with our fans. This is one of those cases because, you know, you're not selling these things for such a price that you're going to get rich, but I do think that you have to know your worth. I have friends of mine who are in investment banking and things of that nature, and they're always telling me, you know, look, man, you have to know your worth, and you have to put a price tag on it. And if you don't even know your worth, then how do you justify selling anything? And I think that for most of us as artists, I think I'm trying to change the way we are, because I'm, you know, inviting other artists to come be a part of this, inviting them to understand that it's not really about the money. It's about giving your fans something they can have forever that's directly from you.
Right.
Which is different than a T-shirt at a concert, but it's the same, because we all leave a concert and we have a merchandise table where we're selling things. So it's no different than that, but this is something that you can do in your spare time from your phone that they're asking you for, that they're willing to pay for, that they keep forever. So that's I spent the time developing this app and creating it. I came out in October, and I tell you, I've been up to 300 of them since October.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea because, you know, just because of the whole social media thing, you know, you create this video for a fan, they put it out on Facebook, Instagram, wherever, and it circulates. So the return.
Yeah, the thing about it is, the thing I get is that my fans can't believe that I would take the time. And they can't believe how cheap it is.
Right.
Because they know how much it would probably cost to get me to come there live. You know, everybody wants me to come sing at their wedding. And I'm telling them, look, that might be expensive, but you can spend this $300 right here and you can get the same effect, because they're not necessarily paying for you to sing. They're paying for you to personalize it and say their names. And it almost seems like they know you. And that's ultimately what social media is about.
Oh, yeah.
You follow somebody, now you know them. now you interact with them on some level. Even if you're just posting, even if they don't respond to that post, you feel like you're now a friend. You have these hundreds of thousands of friends, followers. There's followers. I just came up with that. Followers. You know, that's what it is. So that's what the app is all about. And it's just hard changing how, you know, people think of themselves. Because some people think, oh, if I do this, people will think that I don't have any money. It's like, no, it's not really about the money. I tell them all the time, do you think that your fans would appreciate you doing this? If they would appreciate it, then why not have them pay for it?
Absolutely. Makes sense. And I know that you do about 150 shows a year. Do you have a favorite city or favorite country that you always love to perform in?
The place I love the most in the whole world is wherever somebody's paying to see me. Even though I don't want to seem like a capitalist, but I say that because I can't believe after almost 30 years, it's been 27 years, people are still paying to come and see me. Pretty much singing the same songs I've been singing my whole career, and it still blows my mind to show up in a place and people are still coming to hear me. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, that's a blessing for sure. And who are you listening to these days as far as music is concerned? Do you have a favorite artist? I know you mentioned her earlier. Is there anyone else that you're just really into right now?
You know, I'm an old soul, and I still listen to the same records I listened to when I was 15. And the music that inspired me to create music. There's still a lot of Stevie Wonder, a lot of Steely Dan, a lot of Earth, Wind & Fire. Those records still sound timeless. They're 50 years old, and they still sound amazing. I'm inspired by that because I hope that 100 years from now, somebody's still streaming Brian McKnight.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, I know that your career started at 19. What advice would you give a 19-year-old today that's starting out in the music industry?
See, now I think things are a little different. I think that talent is great, and you have to hone your talent, and you have to be an individual. But I think being likable and being, being not accepted, but when people can relate to you, being relatable to other people, being likable is equally as important as the talent that you have.
Yeah.
I think that was something that nobody ever told me. I thought that being an artist was all about talent when I started. I think that having people really understand you and being able to have them approach you in some way and know you as being likable is equally as important as all the other aspects of what you're trying to do. Because ultimately, you're going to have to get someone to take you to the masses. If they don't like you, and if they don't, you know, look at you that way, it's going to be exponentially harder.
JMG Live Music Lounge.
Thanks for tuning in to the Summer Concert Series edition of the JMG Live Music Lounge podcast. I hope you enjoyed the latest interview with Brian McKnight. Tickets are still on sale for Brian's show at Ticketmaster or at arenahouston.com. Be sure to follow me, your host, Jacquari Harris, on social media, and subscribe to JMG Live and JMG Magazine at jmgmags.com. That's jmgmags.com.